Now, let me know. I'm not sure. I guess that there is some issue coming up with the. Yeah. Let me know. I'm not sure. I guess that there is some issue coming up with the. Yeah. Let me know. I'm not sure. I guess there is some issue coming up with the. Okay. So, as decided, as I told earlier, I'll be showing you some games of Gary Kasparov. We'll be analyzing those games. As decided, as I told earlier, I'll be showing you some games of Gary Kasparov. We'll be analyzing those. C4, knight f6. Gary Kasparov was white, as against Tukmakov was black. Okay, just a brief background about the game. Hi, Saket, Adarsh. Okay, so particularly in the tournament where the game actually was played, Kasparov was trailing by half a point and was lead ahead of him by half. Okay, let me check again. Kasparov played e4, d6. Tukmakov went with the King's Indian defense. Yeah, I understand, Saket. I guess now the problem is solved, maybe from my side. Okay, East d6, d4, bg7. Bishop e2, castles, bishop g5. Kasparov played. Can you tell me the variation of name of the variation in the King's Indian, the particular bg5? Just to give you the hint, the name was given in remembrance of a great grandmaster who, of course, made it popularized, who made it quite popular. Can anyone tell me the variation? Hi, Soham, the newcomer. Welcome. Okay, then okay. Without waiting for the name, I'll just disclose the name. It's Auerbach variation. Gate rotation Yuri Auerbach, who popularized this and found innovative ideas in the same line. So bishop g5, c5. d5. So Tukmakov played d5, b5. Okay, now can you tell me the game is transposed in which line after d5 and b5? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone suggest me which is this one? See, we started with the King's Indian defense, but now it's transposed to something else. It's not a King's Indian anymore, but it's another opening. Okay, this got transposed to the Benko Gambit. If you see the d4 and f6, c4, c5, d5 and b5. Okay, so it got transposed to the Benko gambit. C into b5, a6. Here there are many variations in the Benko gambit, since one is a4, b6, many variations, quite interesting variations. Okay, Tukmakov went with a4. Saket and Ojas, Soham, no, it's not Benoni. Benoni is with e6 and ed5. It's not Benoni for sure. Okay, a4 at 6. Which is the best square for the bishop? e3, d2, what should he play? Or h4? Where should white move the bishop? Anyone with any ideas? Anyone? Go with bishop into f6. Should we go with this? Okay, one is saying e3, h4. Okay, no, I guess e3 at some point will attract in g4. h4, the bishop is on the wrong diagonal. I think bishop d2 may be the decent move here. That's the best move in the position. Bishop d2. Kasparov played e6. Now he again getting transposed to the Benoni. So see, this is quite interesting to find out that the opening moves were with the Kingston defense. After three moves, yes, Saket, I guess still you're facing the lag. Still, okay, okay, D into E6, bishop into E6. Quite a natural move for black, developing the bishop, getting the bishop at the right place. So F into E6 really doesn't, it's not worth to consider right now. Bishop into E6 is perfect. F into E6 is not a good plan. So bishop into E6, knight F3. White is trying to complete the development, get the pieces in the center, same as black. A into B5. You cannot capture with the knight because E4 would be hanging. So either A into B5 or bishop into. But the main idea here is if white can maintain the A4 pawn, then in any endgame it will be a straight outside passed pawn. So it will be so white bishop into B5. Now black, that's Kasparov, decided to get the black knight on B8 in the game. Can you share some plan for the knight? Where to get the knight from B8? Whether we should get it to D7, to A6, and why? If anyone can help me out? Anyone knows? Okay, no one? Hello? Anyone? Okay, Soham is saying knight A6 to B4. Lalita Dhyanaran, Bhuminath is saying knight a6 to b4. Okay, that's interesting. So two are saying knight a6 to b4. Yes, right. Knight a6 is a right move here. Let's see whether we play an b4 or another interesting is nc7. Because remember, if the white bishop is on b5, it will be really difficult for black to do any activity. The bishop is controlling the e8 square. At any point of time, is will be back for the defense on e2. He will stopping the d3 weakness, the d3 weakness. So I guess maybe I think na6 nc7 would be interesting. Let's see how Kasparov went on. Na6 castles. Yes, knight c7. He played knight c7. Should white play rook e1 or bishop e2, getting back the bishop? What do you suggest? What do you think? What should he do? Oh yeah. I understand there's a little lag today. Few of the subscribers are getting the lag. Okay. Now after nc7, let me know whether you think about bishop e2. What do you think? Which is a better option for white? Ojas says bishop e2. Then anyone? Okay. We have two takers for the bishop e2. Rook e1. Bhuminath says rook e1. Okay. Bishop e2, rook e1. What do you say, Adarsh? Rook e1. Okay. Then Saket. Oh, welcome, Shipra. Shipra says bishop e2 again. Other says rook e1. Okay, as idea, if you play knight b4, the bishop on b5 defending everything and attacking the e8 square. So it was worth playing bishop e2 for the time being. Maintain the bishop because whenever he gets a chance, he can play a5 and a6 and a strong pass pawn supported by a bishop. So bishop e2 was the correct move, but white went on with rook e1. Since white made a positional mistake, what do you say black should do now? Others, queen e2 won't be a good option because queen e2 and rook e1 would be the same for black. White will get the same idea. Black will get the same idea. I'm sorry. As we saw, bishop e2 was better, but since white didn't play bishop e2, so how black should continue now? Oh, Saket, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to hear this. That due to lag, you're not able to be in the class. Okay, next time I have a day after tomorrow again. See you day after tomorrow. Okay, Shipra said c6. Okay, bishop c6. Okay. Uh, so I guess Shipra, you're getting some confusion. Uh, I'm asking here what black should play since white did not go with bishop e2, the best option. So I'm asking the move from black because it's black's turn right now. Right, Ojas is saying knight into b5, right. Black must capture the bishop at the same time right now. It's a must. That's good thing. Okay. So knight into b5. He went on with knight into b5, knight into b5. It's a typical Benko gambit position. Black has sacrificed a pawn. and d7 is not a good move. I gave you a hint in my analysis itself. I told you in an open position, if you have double bishop advantage, try to open it as much you can. The power of the bishops increases. And Kasparov took the same advantage and played d5, opening up the center. Knight to d5, knight e5. Quite interesting move. Okay, with knight e5, the main idea is knight into g6. At some point, get the knight on c4, and then on d6. So basically getting the outpost for the white's knight. As if you have a strong outpost for the knight, then same as double bishops, the knights are pretty dangerous. So both the players are following the strategical ideas and trying to pursue their own ideas. So knight e5. To overcome the knight g6 threat, black decided to support the e6 bishop by playing rook e8. So rook e8, white played rook c1, putting the pressure on the c5 pawn. Hi Kamal, welcome. Rook c1. Kamal, knight c6 won't achieve anything because of queen b6. You'll be forced to get back the knight. The knight won't have any future on c6. It will be just a best move. Black g7 bishop is on a quite strong diagonal. Do we have, from black of course, do we have a chance to get our white square bishop as well on a strong diagonal? Anyone? Particularly the bishop on e6? Black played, Kasparov played bishop f5. Hi, welcome back Saket, welcome. So bishop f5. Like Kamal suggested a move knight c6. Tukmakov played knight c6, but knight c6 doesn't have that punch right now because there are no serious threats after knight c6. Queen to d7. This is a quite interesting idea. Keeping the support of the d5, attacking the c6, giving away the c5 pawn, one more pawn. We cannot ignore that black, that's Gary Kasparov, was trailing by half a point against his opponent Tukmakov, and so a win is must for him to get the title or to win the tournament. Even with such a tremendous pressure, of course, when the game was played quite earlier, I mean, it's not the when he was, I guess, the at his peak. Yeah, definitely, it's old one, old game. So even under this pressure, black, that's Kasparov, is sacrificing another pawn for the peace activity. So here comes the real, talent or the power of a champion. Even though a win is compulsory, is a must to get the title, even then he's playing so aggressive. So queen d7, white decides to go with another pawn, rook into c5. Thank you, Kamal. I've refreshed it. Let's hope now the things will be normal. Thanks for the quick advice. Really appreciate that. Okay, so rook e1. Oh yeah, now we are with the position. I think there was some issue from my side this time. I hope now it's okay. White played queen c1. Now the important move, what Kasparov had seen in his analysis before sacrificing the two pawns. Okay, first pawn is anyway Benko gambit, so that's a part of the opening. But sacrificing the c5 pawn, particularly that point, he had seen these variations. Knight b6. A quite interesting move. Putting the pressure on the b2, a4, threatening na4. If you just play a5, I have knight a4 and b2 and c5 attacked. So a natural move what white played is b3. There's a time for your rook to come in the action. The black's rook now. Where to get the rook on e8? Okay, so Kasparov played rook e2. Perfect, Kamal. Rook e2 is the correct move. Tukmakov played bishop c3. He played bishop a5, but bishop c3 would have been a better option. Tukmakov played bishop a5. Black, that's Kasparov starts activating his double bishop advantage now. Till this time, the f5 bishop is controlling the strong diagonal. But now, black, that's bishop on f5, will control the b1 h7 diagonal as well h1 8 diagonal by playing bishop e. Now suddenly, queen g4 threat is in the air. A pressure on the c6. Now the question is, can we play bishop into b6? Can white capture bishop into b6? Can he play bishop into b6? Perfect. The queen g4 will come for bishop into b6, queen g4, and the mate on g2 is unavoidable. So, not possible to play bishop into b6. So for bishop e4, white played knight e5. Controlling the g4, attacking the d7. Queen e7. Putting the pressure on the c5 rook and e5 knight both. White played nd4. something weird. May not be that good move. Maybe queen f1 or knight c3. Not knight c3 now, but queen f1 might be interesting. Would have been more interesting. Bishop into b6. I'll capture bishop into e5, Adarsh. For bishop into b6. Yeah, rook a2. Saket said the correct move. Bishop into b6. For rook a2, white captured. Bishop into b6. Black captured. Quite a natural move. Bishop into e5. A blunder from white. Queen e3. Now, what you suggest? Queen e3 is a blunder for sure. Why? Why it's a blunder? Bhuminath for rook a1. Uh, White can play rook c1. Yes, Saket told the correct move. That's rook into for rook a1. Rook c1 is coming. So first queen into c5. Tejas, as I told, rook a1 or bishop into d4 might be interesting, but I think this is queen c5. It's really forcing. This decides the game immediately. Okay, now let's go to another type of game, which will be another positional masterpiece. Of course, there would be some tactics for sure, but like everyone knows that Kasparov was a great tactician, very aggressive player, but he was having the capacity to even positional ideas and positional masterpiece. Let's see this game again. Okay, wait. So just give me a moment. I think there was some due to lag, the board was not working. Just give me a moment. I'll get back with the board again. I'm so sorry for this. I guess that's because of the refresh. During the refresh, the particular connection got lost. So just give me a moment. No, it's not allowing me to connect this. Let me try another one. We have plenty of option, not to worry. Okay, Saket, I was using Blitzen of chessclub.com, that software. I guess there's a problem with their server, not with mine one. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me go with another option. Just give me a moment. You have to bear for just 1 minute with this. I'll be back with the board. I guess their server got some problem, so he practically must have thrown few of the logins. Unfortunately, I was one of them. Okay, I guess now I can do that. Just a second. Let me get the board. I guess I'm back. Little bit of. Okay, guys. I guess you can see the board now. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, I understand, Indrajit, that board was much better. But the problem is, the concerned software was not allowing me to sign in. So I won't be able to do from there right now. In fact, I was signed in and the server practically threw me out of the login and not allowing me to log in again. Hi, Arya, welcome. Okay, so now as told, Kasparov versus Petrosian. Kasparov was white. I guess. Oh, still there is a lag. Yeah. Kasparov started with queen pawn, that's d4, e6, knight f3, black played bishop b4 check, a Bogo Indian. If white plays nc3 instead of nf3, then it's an Imzo Indian. If he plays nf3, then bb4 check means Bogo Indian. These are the two different ideas. Okay, since these are the two opening slight variations, but the pattern changes, remember. So bishop d2, black is having some other options like a5, c5, queen e7. He went on with queen e7. So queen e7, g3, a standard plan in this setup to get a quite a steady advantage and long diagonal for the bishop on g2 when white goes with g3. So g3, bishop into d2 check, queen into d2, queen the better option than knight d2. Remember, I'm not saying it gives a advantage to black, but so bishop g2. I guess now everyone is with the same position without any lag. Let's hope so. d5, 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d 5 d Whether it's a Bogo Indian, Nimzo Indian, Kings Indian, any opening, finally, black or white keeps on fighting for the center. So the basic opening strategy remain as it is. So D5, D into C4. Now after particular this move, the game is transposed in a little bit of new, that's Catalan opening. There's a variation in Catalan where black opts for D into C4 and white gets a strong diagonal on the H1 A8, a strong diagonal. So D into C4. Can anyone suggest me the way to regain the C4 pawn? Kiran is saying knight C3. Okay. Anyone else? Or NC3 is fine and try to get the pawn at a later point. Kamal says 95, 95. Okay. Bhuminas also says 95. Adarsh, Saket, Arya, anyone? Indrajit? Particularly with the Saket and Indrajit, as our normal practice, I will be answering all the questions which are not related to the game only after the class, at the end time of the class. So bear with me till that time. Oh, Saket and Bhagwati came with an interesting idea, knight a3. That's the one. Knight a3 is interesting. That's what played by Kasparov as well in a3. Even though it's for the time being, it's going at the corner side. It's going in the corner, but he is heading for nc4 and ne5. So the future is bright. What we can say, the knight is having a good future. So starting with a corner square, but heading towards the most central squares. So knight a3, c5. A normal plan in the Catalan opening for black. He keeps on challenging the center. In particular Catalan line, if black is able to get the c8 bishop developed, then is most of the worry, he doesn't have to worry much. Because white's bishop on g2 puts the pressure on b7 continuously. He practically restricts the movement of the c8 bishop. In fact, that's what you will come to know slowly as and when we go to the next moves. The bishop on g2 particularly is known as a Catalan bishop. If you see the Catalan games, you will remember, you will understand what is Catalan bishop. So d into c4, knight a3, c5, d into c5, queen into c5, goes with queen into c5. Okay, Bhagwati, Catalan is a name of opening, wherein white standard move order is d4, c4, nf3, g3, bg2. So there are many variations, many changes. You need to follow certain, it will get transposed to another openings as well. But the standard move order which white will be opting is d4, c4, g3, bg2, nf3, this kind of a setup. Now it was so famous that it's been a Catalan opening itself. So na3, c5. I hope Bhagwati, your doubt is cleared. Rook a c1. White keeps on attacking the c1 and to c4. Knight c6. Knight into c4. With a discovered attack, is threatening to put the knight on d6. Even knight to e5 and capture on c6 would be an interesting option for white. Petrosian playing with black, here played rook d8. Rook d8, I'm sorry, he played queen e7. But as a standard rule, the rook has to be on the open file and he should have played rook d8 to get the control of the d file. He played queen e7, not a good move. Can anyone suggest the move right now? Hi, good evening, Rook. Anyone with any interesting plan? I had given you one hint that as we go ahead in the game, you will realize developing the d7 bishop would be really very difficult for black. And by virtue of that, his a8 rook would be out of the game. Now, Kasparov with every move practically tries to squeeze the bishop on c8 and rook on a8. Let's see how to do that. Can you find out? Kiran says rook f d1. A music lover says rook f d1. Okay. Knight c e5, Bhagwati says. Okay. Bhuminath says rook f d1. Opening our rook and exchanging knight on after knight c e5. Yeah, that's a good idea. Knight f e5. Yes. Here we get the correct move from Kamal Vijay. That's knight f e5. He's putting the pressure on the d7 and importantly he's opening up the Catalan bishop from g2. I'm sorry, the bishop on g2 will be opened up now. Now practically knight into e5 would be forced. Black Petrosian played nd5. Now here I guess there's another position. I hope there's no lag right now. Okay. nd5. Guys, believe me, it's not at all a good idea to play bishop into d5, pawn into d5, and queen into d5. That is what white is aiming for. Is trying to get some black is trying to get some counterplay by opening up the bishop. It's really not at all worth going for that pawn with bishop into d5. Again, from white, Kasparov maintains the same idea not to allow to develop the bishop on c8. He don't want the bishop on c8 to be moved from there. His black is planning bishop d7 and rook f d8. White played rook f d1 now. Putting the pressure on the d file, stopping the bishop d7 idea. Saket, yes, Saket was right. Rook f d1. Perfect. Yes, Adarsh, the bishop h3 would have been possible only if you take the bishop d5, e d5 and queen d5. Yes. Okay, rook f d1, nb6. White must get the rook on c7 somehow. If he change this in a winning advantage, white is having edge. White is having a better position. But now we need to penetrate in the black's position, particularly the seventh rank, which is right now The c7 square is vulnerable in black's position right now. White plays queen a5. Uh, okay, rook f d1, rook c3. I think yes. Now it's there's no lag. I guess it got. I've refreshed it. So queen a5, g6, rook d3. The idea is either play rook dc3 or rook cd1. So ready to take the control of any of the file at any point of time. nd5. Again, black is willing to sacrifice the pawn. Black is behind white, that's behind Kasparov. Please accept my pawn. At least I will get some breathing space. I'll be able to move the bishop from c8 and get it at the better diagonal. So nd5, but Kasparov goes with a strong e4. Uh, Shivai, the game was definitely a classical one where Garry Kasparov was white and it was played in a super tournament in Yugoslavia in 1982. So e4, forcing back the knight, nb6, bishop f1. That's an interesting move by Kasparov. Bishop f1. Since white has committed e4, now oh Kemal, yeah, I can see that you're saying there's a lag. Okay, Sucher, Sakit, Shivai. There might, yeah, everyone. Okay. I hope now you are with the same position. So rook d1, rook f8, a3. Anyway, black doesn't have a moves. a3, king g7. White is slowly preparing the final assault. b3. As I told you earlier, the black bishop cannot be moved. Rook on a8 cannot be developed. Pawn on a6 cannot be moved. He doesn't have a choice of g8, a4, wait, king g8, a4, rook d8. Even at the higher level, blunders do happen. Now, guys, how Kasparov must have finished the game? Can anyone tell me? Rook d8 is not a good move. Why? Saket says rook into d8. Okay. No. Okay. Any other move? Any other options? Or we go with rook into d8? Everyone says rook into d8. You Saket for rook into d8. Rook into Saket have changed to queen c5. MySpace is asking me, can we ask questions? Yes, definitely you can ask questions. If it's related to this game, it will be answered immediately. If not related with the game, it will be answered after the game. Not to worry. So queen into c5, rook into d8 check. The natural queen a8. Hi Bankim. Good evening. Thanks. Same to you, Bankim. Rook into f8, king into f8. After the next move, Petrosian decided to surrender. Can any one of you suggest me the move what Kasparov might have played? Anyone? Yes, Saket spontaneously said rook c7. That's the move. What happened in the game? Rook c7, and the game was over at this point. Petrosian decided to put down the papers. Great. Uh, okay. As now, when you are seeing the video, you must have seen a interesting notice which I had put up on the just below my photo, below the video, my picture. There you can see that Unacademy has come up with an interesting offer for all of you. By the normal course, for the 1 month paid membership is 1500 rupees a month, whereas till 5th of September, that's till Teachers Day, we are offering at a concessional price. Whenever you go for online subscription, if you mention the code as referral code, that's Gokhale 12, you get a 99 rupees for 1 month free access to all the chess videos and all the chess data. Remember, we have in our team the topmost grandmasters like Vishwanathan Anand, Vladimir Kramnik, Vijaya Lakshmi. There are six grandmasters, six international masters, and a strong rated players. All the videos, all the end game, middle game, and opening material will be at your disposal just by paying 99. So just think about it and do join us on the same portal. Okay, now coming to the questions, Shiva is asking, what would you say about India's lead in Olympiad today? Shiva, I can say that we have a very much balanced team. We have experienced players like Anand in our team. So Vishwanathan Anand. We have youngsters, fighters. So definitely it's going to be a good chance for us this time. But still it's early to say because it all depends on the next day pairings and all. But looking at the current form, yes, we are doing good. Okay. Then anyone? Low Bankim Saka lowest fee ever. Yeah, that's true, Bankim. So, but remember, if you don't put the referral code, your payment will be with the normal, that's 1500. So remember to put the referral code, then only the price will come down. That is valid till 5th September only. Okay. So I hope you must have enjoyed the para. Now next two classes would be again with classical games. I'll be taking either Kasparov or Anatoly Karpov, all the legends. I'll be taking 2 3 games and analyze them. And as Saket has asked me, when will you make a video on analyzing our own games? definitely, as the program has been already been decided, but once these next my 7 sessions are over, the first one I would definitely go with a analyzing our own game. I'll be trying to put one in between if I can adjust about the analyzing the own game. Okay, Kamal. Okay, he's asking me something about this game again. Kamal, whether if you play f6. Oh, Simi has already answered the question. We have rook f7 check. You lose the f6 pawn, and eventually the e6. Right? Okay. Shivai, can this course help intermediate players plus? Particularly the way I was analyzing this game, it was little heading towards for the rated players below 1500, 1600. But if you observe a few of the ideas what I was explaining, that is particularly keeping the bishop on c8 where it is. It is for something for the more advanced players. So definitely let's, if you can take advantage of these ideas, that will be really helpful for the senior level players as well. So I guess we are done with the questions part. So let's meet day after tomorrow, and I hope this time, I mean next time, we come with a better internet. So particularly many of them had to go back and come log in again, like Saket particularly.